Good night and welcome to another edition of Sports Wrap, your favorite sports program on the Thursday night. As you know, we talk about everything on that program. I am Locke Sebastian, and together with me is
Thompson Fontaine.
And tonight we have a special guest for Dominica. You'll hear him in a while, but tonight we're going to be talking about cricket, a lot of cricket all over the place, Dr. Fontaine. We also have the Dominica women's team in Grenada. We had football. I'm sure you saw the final, Ivory Coast on Thursday, and then the Super Bowl. I mean, that is probably the biggest event in America. When it comes to that, everything stops in the States. I mean, nothing else happens. But as I say, we have a special guest, and I want to introduce him to you right now. He is.
It's Denison Joseph, better known as King Dice.
Right. We're going to have King Dice maybe for an hour. But, you know, before we ask King Dice the question, Thompson Lambie, I'm sure you'll agree with me. They say class is class, right? Form is temporary, class is permanent. This guy to my right has been a legend in Dominica. And I'm only hoping that the powers that are there must understand that you can't keep doing nonsense all the time. You know, there are people who can't sing, are ambassadors for Dominica. You know, I'm not calling about his name. People who cannot sing are ambassadors. And Denison Joseph, the classiest guy on stage, maybe, I mean, probably we can't compare him to Mighty Sparrow, but when you Dice goes on stage, it's very difficult to beat him. And I'm saying, Thompson, I don't know if you agree with me, somebody like that should be given an ambassadorial position. Let him go and promote Dominica out there. You have occasions when they had stuff all over the place, and they brought alts, and they wouldn't bring King Dice. And King Dice is Dominica's treasure, and we must let. I mean, a guy has won 10 crowns. And if you win 10 crowns, you should be a millionaire. I'll say that honestly. 10 crowns, you should be a millionaire. And I have a problem with the Calypso Association waiting until after they check whatever finances and decide what must be the price. To me, you say before the show, it's 25,000 or 30,000. That is it. Nothing about let's wait after. A man singing on stage and he doesn't know what is his price. Montana on Sunday got $500,000, you know, and a car worth $350,000. Marshall Montana. So I think it's something they need to fix. He's going to sing. We know. I mean, like I said last Thursday, you remember I said when we close up, I'm only interested in two positions, the Dice and Bob. That I said that because you see, cannot be in a country where you cry down a guy. For what reason? Dice goes on stage and he sings. He's fearless. He sings. He doesn't care who is there and who is not there. Thompson, I don't know if you.
Yes, Sebo, I'm with you on this. And again, congratulations to King Dice. You know, for 10 years, I've been 10 crowns. I mean, unheard of. You know, we had a very interesting thing before. We were asking, you know, Dominicans in the commentary, which are the Calypsonian has actually done this. Yeah.
But today, it wasn't just one.
There are two. Yes, there is the Calypsonian, the scholar from Grenada.
So it's not short then because people.
No, it's not short. No. It's the hero from Montserrat and the scholar from Grenada. These are the two that have the 10. Yeah.
Okay, Thompson, Dice, we have a surprise for you. I didn't want to tell you. Good night, Pat.
Yeah.
Good night.
Man.
I mean, that's a surprise. And you know, we talk about King Dice, but we cannot forget Pat Leron.
Absolutely.
Pat Leron has made about what? Crowns in Dominica. Pat probably can maybe at least 15, Pat? Would I be correct?
At least 20.
20. No, Pat is a genius. Let's be right, a genius in his own right. How many people can do what he has done? And he's another person that has to be recognized. People must put away their political hats and think about people as Dominicans and just treat them as Dominicans. King Dice, the first question I want to ask you, when you went in the competition, in fact, at the start of the season, were you confident with the songs you had that you were going to win the crown?
Yeah, man. First of all, when it comes to the writing skills of the legendary original Pat, that is where I doesn't have no I doesn't ask no questions. When Pat give you a thing, he know what he's giving you. And they had a thing on cue for Pat, and the way people spoke about it, Pat, you know, in his early days, even in his childhood days, I check in. Well, that is one of the reasons is a good thing. I doesn't question because sometimes I can never forget that time Pat gave me the song, the Tarzan in the Jungle. Ah, ooh, mama. So now I was like, oh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh. Boy, I'm feeling that. You know, in my mind, I check in, boy. We're part of the hip hop world, and ah, ooh, man. And ah, ooh was the favorite thing. Yeah, so I had the material when it comes to, the lyrics and the thing, and I know I can deliver as long as I put my focus. Because in have certain times I deliver and I didn't give it a lot of focus. So if I put a lot of focus in it, it's to come and just deliver it. Because after the show, after the first round, some guys come and say, "We win already, we win already." I said, no, man, the battle not over yet, man. We have one more time to go. We want more to go, so let's stay focused and do that. And that was it, man.
You know, when Dice released his first song, right? I remember listening and some lady with a foreign accent, she called and said that, oh, Dice is the same thing, and why doesn't he change his writer and blah, blah, blah. So I said to myself, the guy has won 9 crowns with one. Why must he should have to be a fool? King Dice, is there any time you ever thought of changing your writer?
If it's not broken, why you try and fix it?
Exactly.
Exactly. Some people just think, some people think it's their own that's smart, and people must not do that. And strategy and these things is just to take out what is happening, that you do have you have a problem with it in a form, and you find the way you can maybe give it a little problem is to kind of put a little division. But it's two big grown men not there that know their self. I Pat know his inner self perfectly, where God is concerned. I myself know myself, we are men. We can talk about problems and solution, all different things, big man thing. So them things can never work, really and truly. So change right. I think you can try somebody else. I'm not saying the next man can decide, "Guys, but have a nice track, man. Drop that. Let's see how it sounds." No problem. But when it comes to the mission, is the ball and the arrow always on the mission?
King Dice, a lot of questions. Probably people want to hail you up already. People,
Yeah,
all the lights going. Yeah, all the lights going. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, darling. How are you?
I'm there. Good evening, my king.
Good evening to you.
Good evening, Pat.
Amen.
Have these two people together, nobody can beat them. I said already, Sibu, I've said that over on 295. The only person to beat Dice is Dice himself. You cannot beat Dice, Sibu.
You're right.
It's
You're right.
difficult to beat him. For you to beat Dice, maybe you have to forget his song completely. You don't know that type of thing. But you cannot beat him. God has given Dicey a special, you understand, talent. And nobody can take that away from him. See, but let me tell you something. Dice is the only Calypsonian. When he starts to sing, you have to listen.
I agree.
See, but you can be in a bar, buying a beer. As soon as he starts to sing, you have to run and leave the beer and tell the person he will come back for the beer. Dice. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree with you with that.
Yes, and Dice, I know Dice should win already. Yeah? Dice is, I'm not biased. I'm not being biased. I love Dice. Dice is my king from Nani Putum. He will always win. If Pat gave Dice to sing, Jack and Jill went up a hill. Dice will win with Jack and Jill went up a hill. He just have that class, that momentum. So, Dicey, congratulations. You get the road match. You were entitled to that. And Pat, congratulations. Okay?
Thank you.
Not a caller. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, man. Good night, guys. How you doing?
Good. We are right.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Sibo, what I like most is the coming around of Dice, man. We know Dice is king, but eventually now I see everybody's coming around. Now, when I tell you everybody's coming around, is when I see Dice and the biggest fool inside DBS Radio sit down, on the program. When I see that sit dog reasoning, I say, yeah. I say everybody's coming around. Sibo, around 6 years ago, I put on my Facebook page, two things Dice and Scary have in common is that they're going to be winning for 50 years. And I can be sarcastic.
I know that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I also placed there that the bad thing about it is the fans don't seem to be getting along. But interestingly, this year, it look as if everybody is dice.
Mhm.
Everybody.
Both sides of the political fence, right?
Yeah, it just seems to be something just turning around completely.
That might
So
be a sign, you don't think? That might be a sign.
maybe Dice need to join the turning around event. Joining that too. You know what I'm saying, Sibo? So keep up the good work, man, Dice. All the best.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Yeah, more calls again for King Dice. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening, Sibo. Good evening, everybody that's there.
Good evening, darling. How
Sibo,
are
you
you?
know you have my property
Who,
inside
who,
my
who just
child.
tell you that? They just tell you that.
I cannot miss my child program on no program. But
Any station.
ask him if I didn't tell him long before the show, he's going to win. I tell him, you are going to win. Your mother is praying for you. You will win.
That's good
You know he's already quiet. Okay. On that night, boy, I couldn't take breakfast in the morning. I was hungry. That see my boy.
Yeah, man.
Love you.
Yeah, man, love you too. Yeah.
Okay, a question for you, Pat. How do you, when you come to write a song, how do you decide which song you're going to write for King Dice? How do you decide that? Or do you sit down with him before and you all decide this is the song, that is what you want and so on? Tell listeners, Pat, people listening, they want to know.
Well, Dice and I reason a lot, right? Every day or almost every day. So I know what is in his heart. I know what he wants to say.
True.
Also, I know what needs to be said,
True.
considering the situation facing our country.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I know Dice is very committed to that struggle as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last part of it is now understanding his artistry, and knowing where he songs best, what he songs best, saying, you know, and with these free items in the formula, we always come get it, hit it on the head.
Before we take the next caller, what I like about when on Sunday night, after Saturday night, Dice was crowned, you know, him singing, he said, this one is for Pato. And I love that.
Yeah, man.
I love that when he said that. This is for Pat. Even when he was with Matt yesterday, keep saying this is for Pat. And it tells me these are two people who have a good relationship, probably for lifelong relationship. Let's take the next caller.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, the caller is on here. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Congratulations, King Dice.
Yes.
But I must say, you have to say congratulations to the PM as well, too, and the Labour Party government, because let me tell you, you singing positive song about the government would not have allowed you to win 10 crowns. I'm telling you that flat out. Okay? So let's just continue. Scary stays there so you can continue winning more crowns.
My goodness.
That tells something about the people too.
Yeah, no, man. Let's take another caller. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Guys,
Yes, good
I want
evening.
you to do the one thing for me. The people, some labor rights is saying that Kerry gave you a scholarship and a piece of land in Jimit. And I agree that you them. I never hear that. So I want you to clear the air for me, please.
Well, obviously, everybody knew when the administration decided to give me a piece of land. That was, I can't remember the year though. I was in Guadeloupe. I came down. But the scholarship part was a conversation. That never happened. You know, it's something that was just talked about. You know, like somebody say, oh, we should do this. And then, you know, we'd have to put the money there, whatever. But then nothing happened out of that. So it's not nothing, what's out of the bridge. But the land thing is, I think after we sang that song, everybody need a piece of land in this country and this type of things there. And the Prime Minister, I believe, they gave me that.
So you have the title for that piece of land?
Oh, I go and I run to get the title in like 2 weeks. I get that.
Okay, well, that's very good. Okay.
You British now?
That's a nice word.
Immediately. So
That is good.
but I keep telling people keep using that as a thing. No, the thing is, they gave me something that was deserving. I believe,
Exactly.
too, you know,
Yeah.
and they didn't give me something from theirs.
True.
You know, you was the sharer of the food at the moment.
Mhm.
So when I get my plate of food, You know, most I says thank you, but it's not. The sharer don't have to take it like it's your food you give me, because Dominica belongs to all of us for true, and all of us really deserve a little piece of our country. And that's it.
No, I'm happy you have your title. I'm happy. Next caller. Good night. Good evening.
Good evening to the panel.
Yes.
My Dicey,
Yo.
our king forever. Dicey, could you imagine a woman of 72 years lie down on her bed, listen to that Calypso show until 4 o'clock?
She make a daybreak. I'm sorry about that.
Dicey, congratulations. And I also want to congratulate Lucille. When Lucille come up with all the time that was in my mind that go. Anyway, her prediction. Because when Lucille come up with the prediction, I said, what Lucille talking about?
10-10-10?
Or the 10.
Yes. But then it's only when I finish have my lunch, I go through it. I say, oh, that is a spiritual number.
Yeah,
and I say we have them.
That's mystic.
And we had them trembling. And I see, you know how I just portray you? I portray you next time to Mr. Linton. When Mr. Linton on a podium, everybody is just coming like a wave. Just like you when on a stage singing, everybody is like a wave. Congratulations, my boy. That is from one of your close family at Montrose State. Love you.
Love you too.
More calls for King Dice. More calls. Good evening.
Good evening, Sibo.
You are very late.
I give everybody a break.
You were sleeping. You were sleeping.
No, Sibo, I don't die listening. I pay attention. I give everybody their chances.
Okay.
In 2007, that year I was more upset. It was in 2007. Lights. When all that zappy moves I go on stage and I didn't win that crown. And that crown was Dyson. And the person that win the crown for stupid song. That was Dyson. I can never forget that day.
Yeah, man. I can remember that.
Dyson, I remember that.
Yeah, but it taught me a lesson though.
Eh?
That I used even this now. It taught me a lesson that I used. Because
yeah,
actually
I don't know what kind of zappy moves I
it was nice, man.
Light was on there. Light got on. And then people... You know what was happening anyway, you're Dominican. If you get a piece of land from anybody, it belongs to you, you're Dominican. See what the cricketer them that get the land in Dominica?
I think it was Lara, I feel one of them.
One of them got a piece of land was given to them, you bond son of the soil, whatever given to you, don't let nobody use that as a whip or
no, man.
Up on your back. Hell no. Congratulations again, my boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. More calls for King Dice. Good evening. Hello. Hello, caller. Next caller. That one probably got cold feet. Good evening.
Good evening. Dicey again.
Yes, my boy.
I don't be money. Guys, congratulations in order. Pateron, how are you, sir?
Good.
Spin now onto the Calypso Association in terms of management. Guys, I really want more money from you. For you, because I know if you see me, you'll give me a drink. The reason why I say that, why they using this forecourt and not going to the main area of the park? Hence, Calypso was $100. Hence, bring it to $40, $50. Everybody can afford those 10,000 stands will feel evil. I think what is keeping the Calypso Association asking the authorities to go to the main stage of the Windsor Park Sports Stadium? Women.
Thank you. Well, nice you can answer.
Well, I myself, I believe they pay a big money for that court area too. Whereas I believe that place should be, if you have foreigners doing a thing, but you cannot use it on the people. You create it for the people, so they have to give something. But you can't just be the price they pay for that is big money. It's not.
More calls for King Dice. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
One thing I forgot to say. I saw another program already that Dicey must get another $10,000 to go to that $20,000. The Calypso Association should be able to pay that. If they haven't got money in their coffers, go and take a loan and they pay it. But I just find that's going too far now. How much years now? No. You need another $10,000 on that. And we must talk until he get that 10,000 on the 20. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah, you know, I raised that issue.
1 minute, Thompson. We have more calls. That's not you. All the lights going, man. More call for Kingdom. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
I don't know. Guys doesn't know me, but I want to congratulate him.
Thank you.
Mhm.
What
Man, that's you.
No, Hazel, not
Oh.
speaking.
Pat, you still with us, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Pat is there. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, he's
So I
right.
want to tell you, congratulations, my boy.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Thank you.
congratulations on your road matchup also.
Yes.
And Pat, continue doing your good work. And that's we're going up for 20 kings.
I tell you that. When it was 9, they said that's what we want to
On
10.
strength, we're going for
When we
20.
get a 10 now, we want a 12.
2020. 2020.
Part 2, man. Big up part 2.
Okay, so take care.
More calls.
Thank you.
More calls for King Dice. Good night. Good night.
Good evening.
Yes.
Desirable as then.
How are you, lady? How are you?
I'm fine.
Right.
Thank God for life.
Good.
You know, I never really said congratulations to all the other Calypsonians, and especially to Pat. Pat, I want to tell you I love you. But Dicey, I don't hear Dice.
Yes, I deal with you. I deal
Let
with
me tell you, Dice, you know what I love about you, Dicey?
Tell me.
That time you gave me the flowers when my child had just died. You don't know what you meant, what you did for me, my Dice. And Dice, I love you. Till if once I'm alive and you're there, I'll always be before Dice. But Mr. Pat know how to do those things good.
I find.
You need to get. I don't know what all you saying, but I would like him to get an honorary doctorate. 10 years. You not seen that boy on the stage. Even the Pat help to help you put it so come so go so. For you when you on the stage, you might not forget it nothing. But you need an honorary doctorate. That's what Nurse Dive Amplifying you should get. For the many times you have time to lose. But it's half times, man. You really bring up Dominica. I think there's somebody in Trinidad who got something like that. Maybe you should investigate that. So good night, my son. Love you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Love you too.
You know, like somebody are telling me to ask you, ask Dice if his dad influenced him as a musician. At a funeral a few years ago, I saw his dad singing and playing his guitar.
Well, actually, that's not just my dad, but my great grandfather used to be involved in before he joined the church as Mr. Andrew Daniel, going back to Miss Pastor Bill Daniel's father.
Okay.
You know, the
Right.
Pastor
Well, Griffin Daniel's father as well.
Daniel, Pastor Bill Daniel is.
Oh, you related
my,
to you?
He's my
Okay.
granduncles.
Okay.
You know, so
He
their-
listens to our
their
program,
father-
so I'm sure he listened to you.
Yeah, man. Their father now it was my great grandfather. And I
Okay.
used to live with him. But when I was living with him, he was in church already. But
Okay.
I always used to hear he used to mix songs for carnival and this. And my father now is a guitarist, you know, and that's where it starts. My father used to be in a shop below my house. And his police partner was playing the bass, a Susu, and he playing the guitar, and the other partner playing the guitar too. And I used to run down in that place, pick up the microphone and drop enough chubby man. Cardinals them times
Alright.
there. Yeah, and sing some nice looking reggae. So yeah, with the influence, it's in the family in some form also.
Yeah. More calls for King Dice. Good night.
Yes, gentlemen, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
King Dice, congratulations to you.
Thank you, man.
And then just to tell you, continue to trust in the Almighty God, who God bless, no man curse.
More calls. More calls. Good evening.
Hey, Sibo, good evening.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up?
Yeah, man, I'm cool. Yeah, man. First of all, let me, of course, congratulate and thank for Trap to bring in the king. you know, the 10th king in Dominica.
Well, we talk about everything on this program, so we have to bring dice.
Yes, of course, because remember, in cricket too, in sports, you have to have entertainment, you know. So it's fitting well. It's a combination, you know. Yeah, so it's a sport as well, you know, because Calypso itself is a sport, because the way I see the people is like Brian Lara scoring 375, you know, and 277 in Australia, you know. Yeah, it's the way I see the king. And let me big up the king, because I tell you, when I sing his last song, Sibo, I feel that right inside me. I feel everything just refreshed. I say, yeah, that would be him. Yeah, the boy make it. So big up King Dice.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Yeah, man, keep it cool, keep it real, keep it positive. And I mean, you have a natural talent and nobody can dispute that. Yeah, man. One love.
Yeah, more calls again. Good evening. Hello?
Yeah,
hello? Well, guys, you see all these calls, your popularity, you see all these calls. Good evening. Lights haven't stopped going. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Hello.
Are you hearing me?
Yes. Loud and clear. Yeah.
Okay, I'm calling up on behalf of the mass campers.
Yeah, man.
We congratulating Dice, Bob, Pat,
thank you,
and everybody. And we are strong behind the mass camp.
Respect.
And Dice, you did us proud.
That's it. That was the plan.
Yes, very good. More calls. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. More calls again. Good evening. Hello. Don't miss. Go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Go ahead. Make your point, darling. Yes.
Good evening. I'm calling all the way from San Antonio in Texas.
Wow.
I see. Yes, my darling and Uncle Pat.
Yeah, man.
This is just, like peanut butter and jelly. That's it. That's our combination.
Anti-fig and godfish,
I totally agree. I just wanted to tell you guys, I'm listening. I love you guys. Keep up the good work. We know we've been there. We've been doing it. My favorite, Find Your Purpose in Life. That one was for me. And you and Uncle Pat, always in my heart. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thompson, you wanted to ask Dice a question?
Yes, no, it had to do with the price, for the king. I raised that, and I saw Narayan respond to me. He had an interesting response, with regards to the fee for two things: the price of the ticket for the finals. I thought it was too high, and I made a very strong case why I believe it should be reduced to allow more people to benefit from it, because a lot of people told me they were not able to go because of the price. $100 is a lot. I know he argues that, they raised the price some years ago, but since they started to raise the price, the crowd started to come down. And I'm wondering if there's a relationship between the increase in price and the reduction in the crowds. Because when it was $50, $50, $60, you still have 4,000 or 5,000 people watching Calypso. And I do not think that there is a big reduction in the desire for Calypso in Dominica. To me, that is still there. When the Calypso was playing on the streets on Tuesday, the young people say that when I Calypso, they were the ones that were jumping the highest. So I still feel that the desire for Calypso is still there. And that is two areas I think that the Calypso Association really needs to look at. And I'm, of course, willing to talk further with Narayan about it at the Calypso Association. But that is something I think that, you can't be giving the king, 20,000 every year. And,
I know.
I mean, come on. Everything is going up. And, so that is something that they have to look at.
One part, Dice, just before we came on, I don't know if you heard a letter that the former king wrote, Jude Deloney. He wrote a letter today. I sent it to Thompson, where he's complaining about the judging system, and he feels that sometimes there are strange decisions and that. Pat, you want to comment on that?
Well, if JD says that, JD is a very careful guy, so it means he's taking a look at it. And I cannot disagree, because many times, including last year, the judge's decision really baffles me, But I understand it, I believe, because not all of the judges are very knowledgeable about judging about music. What happens is, like politics, the people who know best about music and showmanship, they stay away from the judging. And people who want to judge, but who don't really have the know-how and the experience and the talent, end up judging. Because I've witnessed judges who don't know if somebody's singing flat, they don't know if somebody's singing flat, somebody's singing off-key, so these are the reasons why sometimes we have skewed up decisions. But there is that element in there for sure.
Yeah, he wrote a lot. But Aldo,
I'm looking at it because it's I've had some comments as well on the judging. But what he's saying effectively is that there are some judges that would place one Calypsonian very, very high, and others that would place them very, very low. And he was giving instances where it happened to him, like in 2019 and so on. And it's something I think probably they have to relook the way that they're actually doing it, and in terms of how the actual judging is done. Probably look at it again. Probably the system that is used is, because there should be some kind of consistency. And I'm thinking as well that if you are removing the highest and the lowest, right? You delete the highest score and the lowest score. You should be able to get a nice little average, in terms of where the judges, the majority of judges feel. So I don't know. That is something that they have to look at, really.
Well, and he did say that it wasn't like sour grapes. He said he just wanted to point that out.
Because that would always hurt somebody to see that they come out second
in the quarterfinal, right?
Something, and then didn't even make it.
Yeah.
So that it will have to have you wondering, Yeah, it's kind of a funny, because second is kind of a right there, second.
Yeah.
So, and then you just didn't make it the last time, and not to say you made a fault or something like that.
Yeah.
But I had the opportunity to judge at the QTS on Q there, and I think judge no stress, because it's too shy. Sometimes, they have to go down into it, But what Patsy is right too. I mean, you should at least have a little knowledge of what you're into. You can be judging cricket and it's football you like.
True. Or you don't know about cricket.
You should at least have a
And also the Liberator. The Liberator almost did not make it through the
after the quarterfinal.
I understand he was 19 for the 20.
But
he sang,
he sang I think another verse, an extra verse in the semis. I think to make it maybe. I don't know.
So you have this, so it's something that they have to look at because every year, I mean, people have their own idea of judging and so on. But I think this year they got it right to me. They got it right in the finals. I was also scoring and relatively close in terms of the top, So I think it's just something they have to look at. But every year you're going to find people who don't agree with what the judges say, but I think also it has to involve an element of training. They have to train the judges, and so and bring the different people to,
There needs to be more training for judges because I heard people say sometimes that particularly in the DBS commentary booth about same song, same melody, same thing. And these guys don't understand what melody is. Sometimes they hear the same voice or the same mood, and they think they're hearing the same melody.
Yeah.
You understand? So I'm saying the judges need much more training.
But guys, have you all, both of you all sat down and thought of going on a tour where a lot of Dominican, let's say for instance, St. Croix, Guadeloupe, Antigua, the States, organize a tour with people? I mean, I think something like that would be good, economical for you. Both of you all sit down with other people and organize a tour where you can go. Because I mean, guys, you are, like I say, you on both sides of the political fence. People, when Dice comes to sing, everybody listens and comes forward. So I think it's something you guys need to think about.
Yeah.
Both you and Pat, and going on a tour where all the Dominicans are.
But I think we need assistance too, eh?
Well, exact, true, yes.
Because that.
As a matter of fact, Mackenzie, Boss, and myself were discussing that today. So we are having a meeting over the weekend to put some details down and plan it.
Good. Man.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I think a lot of people in diaspora, in the main where Dominicans are, they will support that. They will support,
Mm-hmm.
Get
Absolutely.
involved and make it happen.
Mm-hmm. I would like to see something happen. And not only that, a compilation of a nice thing of all the songs of Dice. Let's like 25 of top songs and go with it. It will sell. All is a part of raising funds. Dice something you put that on things so everybody can listen. So when I drive in my vehicle and I put on, I can listen to Dice for an hour non-stop. Yeah, that sort of thing. So we have to think of all these ideas. We have another caller. Good night. Yeah, we have another caller. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening, caller.
Hello. Nice. By the way, Saro says he's trying to get you so many callers.
Sorry, don't change the song already. I want it man and put his own thing.
We have a caller. Good night. Good evening.
Yes, Sibo, that's me. That's a good idea. What you just said there about the tour, that we have a lot of Dominicans. Oh yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah. It's in the works. That you all need to pursue.
That when you say St. Thomas, you remember a partner that brought me to St. Thomas the first times. Lawa.
Right.
But if Lawa could put down certain things, you'd be a good guy. Let's put that on that side.
I know it's a second of the caller. Good evening. Good evening.
Yes, hello. That's a very good idea. A tour with guys around the area of the U.S. and the Caribbean. Also, another perfect idea. You hook up with an international cruise agency or agent of a cruise ship, and we go on a cruise ship tour. The cruise ship tour will give him even more reach to music spreading worldwide with different people from different countries on that cruise ship. Also, so you can plan it in the picture to say, well, we need 50 people, 100 persons from Dominica who want to cruise guys on a cruise ship, a tour, and boom, that's more of it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. More callers came back. Everybody wants to talk to you. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Before that tour, we did a concert with Dice right here in the
Well, they're listening, caller. Both Dice and Pat listening. So I hope they're making notes mentally and everything. Another caller. Good night.
I hope you're going to have a spot on Creole Festival this year and a well-paid spot.
No, but I just cannot understand why that to me should be a straight case of Dice and Creole Festival. I mean, that's crazy.
That. And a good paying spot.
I agree.
And that's what year did you sing that song, The 10 Commandments of Calypso?
The year I don't remember.
Pat might remember.
I remember that year, but I love that song.
Yeah,
10 Commandments of Calypso. You have to listen to the lyrics really hard. Right.
Yeah, more callers for Dicey. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello, Simo.
Yes, Sudha.
Imagine Wadix was talking to some St. Lucians that were here. And Wadix telling them, suppose Dice would come to St. Lucia in a competition Calypso. This fella said, not to say they're talking of in St. Lucia, but this fella said Dice would win that. Clean, straight. That's to tell you the kind of, the caliber Dice. I did St. Lucian say, Dice would just win that. Dice would win them there. You understand? Okay.
Yes, thank you. We have more callers. Boy, these lights are going. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes.
Congratulations to King Dice. I'm so happy I cannot get over it.
Wow.
Also to Papi Ron. Also want to add Freddie Nicholas in there as well.
Yes,
because I know Freddie do good work, guys.
Yeah,
I'm so happy. I don't know how to even express myself. Also, I would like to ask Dice how many roadmap songs he have so far.
Well, this one, I guess it might be 5 or 4 or 5.
Pat will remember. Pat, how many now?
I think that makes 6,
Six.
And someone is saying that they need Dice in Miami, and it will be massive. All right, so here we go.
Hey, as we say, when they call, we'll go.
Yes.
As long as everything is in place,
I'm glad.
Yes, caller, go ahead, please.
I'm glad.
Yes, Pat. Hold on, Pat. 1 minute. Let's take this caller.
Yes, man. Big up, man.
But it look like you like your saltfish and
But you,
green
boy,
banana.
what I'm to you now, boy? Where you think we come out there?
Listen, no, serious, because the first time I meet you it was a Labor Day up in New York where they were selling green fig and banana, you know.
Green fig and, yeah, well,
by the partner from St. Joseph. So,
but I tell you,
and
that
I
does
remember, King Dice, I remember, right, them partners giving me pressure that organ, that keyboard player, man, the baddest keyboard player we have, Dominica. He was there.
Fitzroy Williams?
Yes. And see, but big argument, King Dice tell me, you know, something in Dominica, our problem is them people haven't got balls. Them man down, they don't have balls. King Dice, you can remember that, but I just called to big you up because you do the job I wanted you to do.
But you don't tell me loose the arrow. You know, I feel that.
Yes,
I tell you, I don't know.
People listen to
I feel that.
I always used to watch Dracula picture, and nothing cannot kill Dracula. No matter if you come with cutlass, gun, nothing. But when he got that arrow in his heart, he lost that.
Yeah, I tell you.
And you lose that arrow.
Yeah,
but
man, lose the arrow.
I give you a message for Pat. I tell you to tell Pat. We have a diplomatic passport from the Commonwealth of Salisbury for Pat. I don't know if you give him the message, but if he listens,
he ain't it now.
I get it from already.
That's a good suggestion they comment because King Dice, listen, man. Miami does have carnival. Atlanta does have carnival. And I want you to touch that US dollars for true. So if it's, I don't know how they're going to organize it, if it's a tour, but you have to link up with them different carnival, I say in the Caribbean. I just believe, well, every carnival in every country in the Caribbean, St. Lucia, every time they have our king supposed to be represented to promote Dominican. I don't, and this thing used to happen before. The king used to always go St. Thomas, Antigua, St. Croix, and them places. But now I don't know what's going on down there, my brother. And listen, when we have a problem, like we need land or we need a scholarship, regardless of which prime minister, which government is in power, and they assist you, to me, that's the job they're doing. They're doing you a favor. You don't owe them nothing, my brother. Why are people talk about they give you as if it's in the pocket, they take things and give you, or what them grandmother left for them, they give you? Not so.
Okay. Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Okay, listen to the Pat and Dice. I want you to listen to that. Thompson, everybody in Dominica. Q95 is planning to do a radio fund tomorrow, Friday, to raise at least $10,000 for King Dice. Matt and I will launch the radio fund tomorrow morning. I anticipate that Dominicans and friends of Dominica and fans of King Dice at home and abroad will want to make their contribution to such an initiative. That is coming from Mr. G. Dice. So I want everybody tomorrow, everybody who's calling now, now is the chance to put your money where their mouth is. If people say King Dice needs 10,000 more, this is the chance to raise more than 10,000. Pat and Dice, you all listen to that.
I think we should let Mr. Abdullah know that so he can send his contribution as well.
Good money, Mr.
And then not also, and Mr. G says, and I would be happy to be a part of a committee to plan a North American tour for King Dice. Okay? So that's very good news. And tomorrow morning, everybody, now is the chance to put your money where your mouth is. Please listen to Q95 tomorrow when the radio fund will be launched. Next caller. So everybody heard that. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good evening.
That's my 50th attempt at getting the radio station.
Well, everybody, all the lights are going through that.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Pat, Aaron, and Mr. Dice, a formidable team.
Thank you.
And everybody else on Dice's team. I know Pat is the writer, but there are other people behind the scenes who have made his win such a memorable one. I just want to say, congrats, and also, I'm happy that Mr. G just mentioned that because there was somebody
who actually was, we were talking about it because Lofty had a show on Sunday, and we were talking about, I think Ian Jackson and Alex Bruno were on, and they were talking about that same prize money, and I just think it bothered me a lot to hear that in this day and age, the prize money is just $20,000. So I'm happy that Mr. G has put out the initiative, and like we said, let us all put our money where our mouth is. I love to see the action. Dice, I just also want to congratulate you and Mass Camp on taking Calypso to the other level with your Mass Camp show that you started way back after Creole Festival. I think all of us in the diaspora have fully enjoyed, just getting back in love with Calypso as much as possible. All the people who stream the shows, Mass Camp has a unique thing because Mass Camp offers their shows for streaming for free, and people contribute. And I really do hope that those of us out there who really enjoy what Mass Camp is doing, they contribute. And as the way I see it is that, these are the kinds of ideas that we need to bring this country forward. It has to change. It has to evolve. And it evolves with the time, and that's what, everything is about streaming now. The people come to the park, and Thompson mentioned, reducing the price. That would go a long way to supplement the cost. So the people at home pay less, but the streaming services, since there's 40 different companies that are streaming, they can stream. I also want to, I know I'm all over the place, but I also want to give kudos to the women in Calypso who did very well this year. The young people who are coming on Trilogy and Mighty D, I know Dice has set the path for them. We really look like our Calypso is strong. It has a bright future. I just really hope that, we keep the people involved in Calypso and have it as something that brings everybody together. Again, congratulations, Dicey. Continue looking forward to it, and congratulations, Pat, and thank you, Sports Rap, for bringing them on board.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Dice and Pat brought the Calypso show to people's homes. You could pay $92. Is there collaboration with the Dominica Calypso Association? So part of these funds go to the Calypsonians.
Well, it should. It should. When you consider royalty and so, it should.
Well, you almost find out about that because you could pay $92 and stay home and watch it.
I always find that is a thing. I mean, it have sometimes on the radio, sometimes you look at it. We needed to do that where Mass Camp is concerned. But sometimes, I mean, the streaming things, maybe some because you can stay at your home for sure and decide a lot of rain and, coming to the show. But you'll have to pay your money. But where does that money go? I guess the Mr. Observer that would know most of them things there.
Guys, look, Saro is saying his contribution already is US $200.
All right, Saro.
He's apparently said that. He'll send it to me. I'll get you. There's another caller in Buffett safe. Another text me. They have $100 already. Yeah, so man. Money's coming for tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Before tomorrow.
We have another
input there.
Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
When talking about the combination of dice, there are a few other people who are very, very integral in the whole output, like Freddie. All the songs of dice are recorded by Freddie.
Okay.
And all the first songs are done by Cornell.
Right.
Except 1 year we did the first song by Dada, right, Dice?
Dada, and then we did one with the guy in New York.
Right. No. That
water.
And that was a Grenadian partner of mine in New York. We were. Oh, you're talking about
water. Yeah, water.
But the regulars are Cornell,
yeah,
and Freddie. And Dice has a team of young women who have been living for years.
Yeah.
They take care of all the backstage works.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an elaborate team, people are putting their all together, so you have to remember them as well,
True.
All right, caller.
Another caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Yes.
From the fountain.
Yes, good evening.
And the king himself.
Big up.
All your mother calling. Well, now your pops from Buffer State that was living in the same name your son was living.
Yes, I hear you, man. Mother's calling, pops calling.
Anyhow, congratulations for the 10.
Yeah, man.
and we're going for more than 10 too, you know. People have to call you later
Okay.
to tell you about a cricketer that died.
Okay. Well, somebody else send it to me anyhow, but no problem. You could call when Dicey, you have a few more minutes and then we go to cricket after that. Yeah, another caller. Thank you. Good night. Yeah, good evening.
I don't know if Dice can remember that, but Boss will be able to answer that question. Because when Miss Henry took up the, the mass camp for the first year, she said they were going to do some kind of thing around the Caribbean, like mass camp. You remember that, Dice?
Well, a lot of things are spoken about.
The mass campers, the people that, like the Calypsonians, they were going to go around the Caribbean and other places like maybe St. Croix, St. Thomas, or wherever, and have church there. So something like that, Miss Henry had brought that up. Boston will be able to answer that question. I can remember that like today. Ask Boston about that.
Well, you see, the thing is, as long as people get involved, you see, because things used to happen like that before. You know, Labor Day, I can remember, it used to be big because you had a set of people that was involved in New York, someone involved in Dominica, and you know, you make things happen. As long as you're involved, you can make it happen. But if you're staying out there and just waiting for it to happen, then we're gonna have problems there. You know?
Another call again. Good night. Good night. Good evening.
Good night to you, Sibo. Good night to Mr. Thompson Fontaine.
Good night.
Dr. Fontaine.
Good night to the man Dice himself.
Big up, yes, I.
You know why I called you here tonight? When I wake up in the morning and the judges call everybody on stage, I say, no, that feeling I have there, that's going to take that crown. But what I enjoy more is the people don't understand what they jump in for. Because the message, this is what we're talking about every day. True. To bottle down in their head. True. But they dance in it and they still don't understand in it. That's big up, man. That.
Yeah, man, big up.
That's for you. Thank you. There is another friend in the States, US $200. They'll get to me, from get to you. Yeah. Another friend from Portsmouth, $100.
Here we go.
So, yeah,
big money. So you're not big money, Mr. Aguilar. Big money, Mr. Dominicans.
Yeah, thank you to everybody.
Good evening. Good evening. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
I want to say once again, congratulations to Dice.
Thank you.
You did a great job. I am a great fan of Dice since in time of Tarzan. My name is Willie Street Magdalene man. I am proud to say that. This is my son. Dice song on my own is my ringtone for donkey years. I love you, Dicey. And I don't know if you or Pat Aaron can talk about that. I can remember a year. I don't know what really happened. I cannot remember, but you decided not to take part in the Calypso final. And I can remember Calypso Association begged you to come back, and you said you did not go in, and you did not go that year.
Yeah,
my husband and I did not go because we only go to Calypso show for all your sake. And I can remember when they were questioning the Calypso Association after the Calypso show, they asked them how they signed it was, and they said they had a low turnout on tickets and so. So I don't know if I can't really remember what happened. Maybe you can talk about it. Thank you. Have a blessed night.
But Mrs. Siboman, you see the nice thing again. I want to big up Pato on, you know, and not because it's dear,
right?
Know, but it takes a great human being with inner strength to be writing the song, but watching somebody get all that. You know, the glory. Hey, that. But you know now, you know, it's you that do that.
And it's happy for you, right?
And it's happy for you. And even, you know, I mean, it doesn't see no border. You know, that some people, they just act like they no border in them, but you can see it through them. That is an expression, and don't want too much cinema, you know. So I think that is a strength, man.
In fact, when I spoke to Pat before the case, he told me he'll stay home. The night of the thing, Pat tell me, don't stay home, but watch the thing. And as you say, Pat has to be a great man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you getting all the plaudits, everybody's king dies, but he sits there together with you. It's a collaboration, and he has to get full marks for that. I mean, as you said, he's a great human being.
Well, Dicey and Pat, they call to bring money. It is down in. Like a friend of mine is saying that I want to announce $500 US to King Dice via Dr. Fontaine, and they said they'll give it to me to make sure you get it.
All right,
but they don't want your name called, but $500 US in the bag.
Just like the person with $200 US told me the same thing. They don't want their name called. So far we have 1,000 US, over 2,000. So Mr. G will go past 10,000, maybe 20,000 tomorrow. 20,000 tomorrow, which is really fantastic. Another caller?
Bring money.
Oh, I'm excited. Let us make things happen for Dicey.
You know, somebody's saying that they're asking, will we see Montano and Dicey on the same stage at some point?
In Creole Festival, Dyson stage will pay you the night $20,000. The same way, if you can pay Marshall, whatever.
Because
bring Dyson.
Montano was in Creole Fest.
Well, exactly. So why not have Dice together and what is them singing in Creole Festival? What is the problem with that? Yes. And I have a problem with nonsense like that. They will bring people from all over the place, and here you have a treasure right here. Yeah. And you wouldn't bring him on. It's nonsense, right?
So we have a main thing to get Dice on Creole Festival.
Yes.
This year.
We're going to put pressure on that. And we're going to make
it happen. Yes, Pat.
I've got one for you, Dice. Whose idea was it to do the T-shirts? That was a very good business idea.
Well, actually, that T-shirt, I have to be honest about that. The red skin lady that just be on the walks with Mr. Martin, the one Margot. I think Margot decided after Supre, she heard the song. She said, "Let me take out a picture so I could make a poster." Clap. So by the next day when the song came out, that poster going with the song because they need something to put with the song. I didn't kind of like the picture, but then I think that was where the idea came out, and then somebody else from the foreign called
Alex in Switzerland.
Alex in Switzerland called me, and she said she want to be part of the T-shirt vibe. So I would just tell people where to go and do the T-shirts and they want the thing. But I think it's a good idea for the 10 on the 10 crown, you know. Yeah, it can mark something.
Mr. G, some for you. Somebody want to know what's the payment method? If it's MoneyGram or Zelle or PayPal. So you'll have to let people know what is the payment method.
Tomorrow they'll get
tomorrow it's flat.
No, all that we can tell them. So it makes it easier for people that I see tomorrow.
Yes,
we have another caller. Let's go. Good evening.
Yeah, I heard that he's speaking about his genesis as it relates to music, but and his relatives and so on. I hope all the people calling to contribute are not related to Mr. Abdullah.
I guess we'll be getting our money there.
You know, Pat Dice, okay, Calypso is match next year. When do you guys start formulating what you're going to sing for next year? When do you all start that? You and Dice, Pat?
It's like a circle, it doesn't stop. All while he performing, you know, and I looking at the reaction of the crowd and he performing and we discussing every day, reasoning. It doesn't stop.
So it starts immediately.
Yeah.
Well,
guys, a question for you from one of our listeners. They're asking, what would it take? How can we get young people to get attracted to listen to Calypso like they do to Bouillon?
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on that?
I believe Calypso, they're listening to the Calypso, you know. But I think the promoters need to promote it a little more too. See, that is the thing about Jamaican music. I believe that had Jamaican music that big in the world. It's because the proudness of the Jamaican would make them not say, "Oh, I don't like Bob Marley. I prefer Bonnie Wheeler," or "I don't like this." For them, it's Jamaican music, and they give it out there. Right. So you give it out there. So then people choose what they like. But when you're suppressing some and pushing some forward, then that is where we have any problem there, you know. And I believe if everybody play that patriotic role where music is concerned and plenty other things is concerned, and just put some of your stuff aside when it comes to the individual, but just know it's the product of the country, then I think that would solve that, man.
Excellent.
More call Dice, all the lights, best. Good evening.
Gentlemen, blessings to you all.
Well, good evening, bro. What's up, bro?
My beloved Dicey.
Hey, what's up, the bless?
Dicey, blessings to you, Pat. Pat Mike seems very low if he's in the studio. Very, very low.
Pat is not in the studio. Pat is home.
Oh, he's not in studio.
No, Pat is at home. Pat is at home.
But let me just congratulate Dice again. More glory be to you. More power be to you. And the genius mix up with another genius. That is what that can bring out that finished product. And I have always admired Pat, and I used to, and I'm still bigging him up. because that man is a genius in his own right. And Dicey, the execution of the work, it takes another genius. You know? Yeah, the people them. But you good for yourself, boy. Anyway, more glory be to you, more crowns be to you, and all those who trying to hold you down, more power be to you, my Lord. Take care.
Man, we're talking about trying to hold on. I still want somebody to tell me what was that static on my stage.
Well, I heard you saying that when you came on to sing, you were hearing that, and as you said, it wasn't off-putting because you're such a professional that you were able to deal with it. And that it, again makes you an outstanding guy that you can deal with it. More callers. Let's take the callers for Dicey. Good evening.
Yes, Mr. Pat. I'm going to let go a secret here. You did not talk about it. You talk about it vague. You get your inspiration for writing Dice music mostly from Q95. Everyday callers, their comments, their sentiments, their feelings, their expression. Imagine that one, a man on maternity ward. Imagine square pegs in wrong hole. and Mr. Litton has been asking about our money. So that's where Mr. Abdullah come from. Our passport sales.
That is true. That is
all right. We have you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Listen, Mr. G is saying people can go to, and I want everybody to listen carefully. I'm going to take my time. www.nidclf.org. www.nidclf.org. Yeah, .org. Click on the donations button and make your contribution. They will get an instant email receipt. I hope everybody got it. Please.
But we'll repeat it.
We'll repeat it again, right? So
and
please,
tomorrow.
you can go there and make your donations easily. Easy. So all these people who call in and have the donation, you can go right there. Yeah. Looks, I see somebody asking, the song wanted, do you have it on recorded?
Yes. It is.
Because 3 other lines were added, the person saying.
Oh no, the I like the little ends there.
Yeah. No, that was great. That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
Actually, it was always there, but we decided to hold it for the finals just to put a little icing on the cake, which I found was nice too. And you can you can hear the vibes of the people, because everybody know who's in the park. Everybody's in the park. So when the other verses come that wasn't in the song, that might have caused problems if it was in the recording. It was nice to hear it on the night itself.
Yeah. Dice Pat, 2 of my favorite songs for you was With My Brothers for Me and I Ain't Afraid at All. To me, I don't know what is your favorite, but that song in Thompson, I play it on my vehicle all the time.
These Are the Days is one of my strong songs.
Okay.
These Are the Days.
By the way, one of your favorite, how I say it now, fans, Ozzy, good night, Ozzy Lewis.
Yes.
He's not here. He would have been happy to have been here, but
but I got my call.
Pat, you and Dice, good night, Ozzy. I know you're listening. One of your favorite guys.
Yeah, man,
the pity he could not have been here tonight. But this is a guy who always big you up. He's not a fan of yours.
I got my call. All
right. Okay,
I was on the carnival route.
Okay.
And I got my call.
Right. So I just saying it. Ozzy, good night. Your boy is right here next to me. Right here. Okay, Pat? Yes, Ozzy. Well, you know that, Pat, and you tongue man like you. Although, Pat, I have to say, you're a call your man like me as well, Pat, by the way.
Okay, Pat, 2 things.
Don't let Pat answer that before. Pat, I just say you're a call your man like me.
I'm a call your man, and I'm also a Salisbury man.
All right, good.
He just get his papers there,
Well, Thompson.
Yes, there is another question that goes to Pat, and they were asking, have you considered doing an off-season Calypso tent at some point, probably between Easter and summer? That's a question from one of our listeners.
Well, Mascambi is planning to continue the system we've had going.
Virtual thing.
Virtual, we plan to continue.
Mm-hmm.
We're also planning to do, prior to the tour out, I plan to do a local tour of Dominica and then move to the region, and from the region move to international. We discussed that today. We'll be meeting on the weekend to plan it in more detail.
Nice.
All right. Excellent.
Good vibes.
Okay. All right. We have another caller. Good evening. Good evening. All right, another caller. Okay, Dice, Pat, we have to wind up now. I guess Dice have a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody is listening that tomorrow there's going to be a radio fund on Q95, and all the people who are speaking, this is your time now to contribute. Mr. G said 10,000. I think we should go for 30,000 tomorrow. We still have more. Probably we'll take one more call, and then Dyson and Pat will wind up. Good evening.
Good evening, Sibo.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Fontaine and the King himself and Pat Aaron.
Yes, good evening.
I would like to make a suggestion to Q95. As Dice is 10 times king and we have a treasurer in Dominica, we need a special show at least one day in the week to promote Dice music for at least 2 hours every one day in the week, please. That would be so great for the listeners, Spanish fans, and Dominicans alike. What you guys say?
Well, they hearing you.
Well, they hearing you.
Mr. G hearing you.
Mr. G.
Mr. G hearing you.
Mr. G. Mr. G, I do not want to hear no other radio station because I don't listen to no other radio station, and I know many Dominicans don't listen to no other radio station than Q95, the big station. So I want to hear at least 2 hours once a week or once a month King Dice music, because we have enough track that can do for 2 hours and more. God bless you guys.
Dice, a lady, Marvelyn Pascal, she says she just can't get through all the callers.
Yeah.
She said, please tell you good night. And she said she worked with you in Mass Camp a couple of years ago,
Yes.
Marvelyn Pascal. So she said,
Good
please
night to you,
tell
Marvel.
you. She said she can't get through because I've never seen that on Sports Rapper, all these calls. I've never seen that to be. That's the most ever. We look more still going on, but we have to wind up. One last one. Let's take the last
Okay,
one.
what's wait for this caller?
One last one, and we're going to. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Sibu and Daisy.
Yeah, man.
My brother, good evening, brother, and congratulations.
Yes, sir.
10. To go along with the fundraising, Easter concert, Easter weekend concert, that would was good, Daisy. With all your tracks, and maybe adding 2 characters in that side to come and give us some oldie goldies. We need something for the Easter. We need something for the Easter, my brother. And because we need something for the Easter. Daisy concert.
No, that of course that's something
Yeah,
you
that's
should
what-
embrace. That
Yeah,
you
I
and
am.
Pat embrace that.
Colin Bully was always pushing for that, you know.
Right. So Easter Sunday, Pat, is something for you to think about. You and Dice. And anyway, all the callers, but we can't take it. Dice, your final comments, you and Pat, please.
Yeah, well, I just want to big up Pato again, for being part of this. I'm honored to be part of that vibes, the calypso, and what we're using it for. What I myself choose to use it for, is a good thing. I believe what we're doing there can bring the people in a together kind of a vibes where segregation already existing. And segregation not good for us, So if music is one of them that can bring the people together just so we could grow nicely, then big up to that. Big up to everyone that I'm a contributor already and willing to do it tomorrow, Jah Guidance. And we say thank you to everybody and big up Mr. G. Pato, you done already. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Pat, let's hear you.
Well, I don't want to repeat what Dice has said. He represented me in everything he said.
Yeah,
Thank everybody. We want to thank everybody in advance who's going to call tomorrow and contribute. We want to remember again the people like Freddie, Cornell, and Dice, the Dice ladies. Dice. I remember Gaddafi. His closest security used to be women, like Amazon women.
Yeah.
Like that. So and you see these girls there year after year planning the presentation and executing the presentation to a team.
Yeah, man.
So when you thank them, you thank the Mascam crew, the whole Mascam family, and Dice himself has matured so much. Dice is so committed to the struggle. So it makes the work easier. And Sibo, Sports Rap, Ozzy, Thompson, Randa, will be all of you all.
Thank
Q95.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before you leave, let
thanks.
me just read the website again.
Yes, very good.
www. Everybody listen to that. www.nidclf.org. You click on the donations button and make your contributions. You will get an instant email receipt. I'm going to say it for the last time, the final time, www.nidclf.org. You click on the donations button and you make your contributions. You will get an instant email receipt. Thank you, Dicey. Thank you, Pat. We'll always talk again, my brother. Thanks. Just keep doing what you have to do.
Yes, great having you. Congratulations again, Pat.
Thank you.
Yes, man. You're mighty genius. All right, so we'll take a break and we'll be back with the remainder of Sports Roundup. Quite a lot of sporting activities to discuss, of course, this evening. We have cricket, lots of cricket. We also have just completed the African Nations Cup. We had the Super Bowl over the past weekend. And we have currently India playing England. And the win was doing really good again. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back with a lot more for you on Sports Wrap. So keep it locked.
Very good.
There was a time not long ago when it was safe to chastise your government. The opposition leadership, the respect of the Prime Minister and President. Now we have a tyrannical democracy where misplaced priority creates abject poverty. To oppose government policy is living dangerously. So now truth is a sin, and lies and deception are the virtues now trending. If I say the government in my land care for the local man, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say my green Dominica has been bequeathed to Red China, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say Parliament has become a comedy competition, I'm a wanted man. One day for speaking true, one day for caring about the youth, one day for wanting fairness in my land. So I'd much rather be a wanted man than to be a yes man to a godless, corrupt politician. They've hired bounty hunters and character assassins on the radio. Never before have we ever seen a little money make Chumbi dance so. Men of faith selling away their blessings. Parents trading the future of their children. Fortune spent to persecute the innocent. Elimination of opposition and foreign investment. That's politics in these times. If I say law enforcement is blind, the real criminals in these times, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say the businessmen of this land are afraid of one man, I'm a wanted man.
Yeah, we are back, and it was nice having King Dice Thompson. I'm sure we enjoyed that. And most people, in fact, I have never seen all these calls at the same time. Thompson Lambi is probably the most I've ever seen. For about an hour, the lights never stop going. And
you know, it's great. You know what I like, Sibo, is the fact that and Lambi is the fact that the Dominican public embracing King Dice. You know, and that's what we need to do. We need to embrace our own. We need to big up our own. We need to give due honor to our own. And sometimes we fail in that respect. But tonight, I was very happy to see that people were reaching out, and already the donations are coming in. You know, which is really good. So we expect a big thing tomorrow in terms of the special appeal. You know, to augment the liquor 20,000 that he's getting.
And I'm sure this will go past 10,000 already. From the pledges tonight, it's over 2,000 already. We had what? 500 US,
yeah,
200 US. That's Sarah, another 100 US, then 100 EC. That's gone past 2,000 EC already.
Yeah.
So it definitely will go. I'm sure some other people will pledge big amounts. And the guy deserves it. Let's be real.
Yeah, we actually reached 2,000.
Exactly, 2,000 already tonight. And you know what I like is Pat stays in the background, and full marks must go to Pat Aaron. I mean, Pat Aaron is a genius to be able to write these songs. And you know, like the lady say, if you give that Jack and Jill Gobi, he'll win the crown with that. We're waiting on Sam Conan, the coach of the Dominica women's team, who's currently in Grenada, and he's supposed to be joining us. We haven't seen him yet, and he's supposed to be online with us, so we're just waiting on him to see if he's on to talk about the women's team. He has not yet joined us,
so we can look at.
Yeah, I can give the scores of the regional 4-day competition. The second round started yesterday. The Windward Islands are in a good position. Barbados batted first and made 214. Kevin Wickham, the young batsman who made the century last week, he made 74. Ryan John took 4 for 47. The Windward, in reply today, made 325 after a good opening stand from Melias and Solozano. Solozano made 86. Melias 53. Tony Ambrose 72. Kevin Hodge made 26. Warwick took 5 for 59 for Barbados. Barbados batting a second time at 72 for 4, struggling. Craig Braffett got bowled out for 17 or 18. He was bowled by Springer. Sam is on. Sam does hold on a minute. Leeward Islands made 352. A name you would want to hear, Mikhail Louis. That's Mr. Louis' grandson.
Jerry
Louis' son in St. Kitts made 113. He looked very good. Hamilton made 77 for Guyana. Mohammed took 5 for 69. Guyana in response made 188. Permal made 34. Daniel Durham took 4 for 40. Leeward Islands batting a second time 48 without loss. Louis is at
they are 52 for 1.
Oh, so Louis got out? The last score was Louis was in 35. So I don't know if he got out.
They're 52 for 1.
Okay. Jamaica, the CCC made 307.
Louis is not out on 37.
Right, 37.
So
okay.
Kofi James is the one who got out.
Okay. Now CCC made 307. Jonathan Carter 135 not out. Shields took 3 for 78 for Jamaica. The last score, probably Thompson, you can give Jamaica. The last score I saw was 240 for 4. What's his name? Chadwick Walton was on 156 not out. That's the last I scored when we came on air. I haven't checked it since. Then you had what's the last score? The
last score with the one between Jamaica
and the CCC.
The Jamaica Scorpions are. I will tell you in just a little bit as I pull up the score there. against the CCC. All right, it's not. Yeah, they're 259 for 6.
Oh, so Walton got out? He was
Yeah,
the last-
259 for 6 Jamaica Scorpions.
Okay.
Combined scored 307.
Right.
And they're 259 for 6.
Yeah. And then the West Indies Academy, batting first made 163. Teddy Bishop, who just came from Australia, made 65. Jaden Sales, I'm happy to see him back, took 3 for 26. TNT Trinidad replied with 329. A new guy, Jid Kohli, made 113. Vikash Mohan, 54. Ashmid Ned took 6 for 78 for the academy. The academy batting a second time at 84 for free. Akim Ogis, 34. So we should follow the Windward Islands tomorrow. Hopefully, they should make that will be second victory inside 3 days.
3
Barbados
days, yes.
struggling. They still what? 72, they
72
still
for 4, so
28 and 11, 39 runs behind. So the Windward Islands should pull off that one tomorrow morning. Okay? We are joined by Sam Kernan, who is in Grenada. He's the coach of the Dominica women's team taking part in the Windward Islands tournament. Good night, Sam.
Yeah, good night, sir. Good night, all. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and Sam. So, Sam, tell us, Dominica haven't been doing well so far in this tournament. Tell listeners they want to hear.
Well, I wouldn't say not doing well. Throughout the tournament, I see improvements, like the first 2 games. We were improving. We batted over 50 overs in the first game. In the second game, it was reduced to 31 overs. We bat those 31 overs. And then well, what really happened was our second game against Grenada, we had made 149. We had Grenada 119 for 9. And just in the last partnership, the last pair that came to the wicket, they stood up and they got over the line. Then yesterday, we got rolled over by St. Vincent. That was at Progress Park. And what we've been told, they haven't played cricket at Progress Park for more than 8 months.
That's surprising, though. Yeah.
So that was basically it. I wouldn't really say that we're not playing good cricket. I just think that the other teams are more prepared than us. The other teams seem to have more depth than us. We have 5 young under-19 players within the setup, and it's more the seniors who are carrying the bulk of the work.
You spoke about the preparation, Sam. How long did you work with the girls before you all traveled?
Well, we have been working for quite a number of months, We had training sessions in Roseau, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I also had sessions in Portsmouth, in the indoor. I thought, to be honest, we were well prepared. But one of our bowlers, when we came from the ferry, has not recovered since. So we are 1 bowler short.
Oh, because of the travel, the ferry travel?
Yes, the ferry travel, it was kind of rough, because I don't know if we left last Friday.
My goodness.
When we had the rough seas, in Dominica.
Yes. In fact, you remember when the Bangladesh came, they had that same problem. Yeah.
So she hasn't recovered as yet. Hopefully tomorrow. That's tomorrow. They're starting the T20 version of the competition tomorrow. We already know that we're playing against St. Lucia. That's going to be a really tough game. But I'm backing the girls to come good, because I think we play the T20 version a lot better than the 50 over version.
All right, tell us about some of the standout players so far. Who are the girls some of the girls that are really, doing well in terms of standing out in from the couple of games that have been played.
Yeah, well, as we know, Pearl Etienne has been a stalwart for Dominica over the years. She's bowling well, taking lots of wickets, and she's actually making a lot of runs. She's our leading run scorer at the moment. She had a 41, a 23, and another half century. So she's been doing well. She's leading the team anyway, as a captain should, and she's really showing what she's capable of. We had Rosilia Regis. She's made a half century. She made a half century. Then we had a young Amia Gilbert. She's only 16 years old. She played for the Windwards last year, and she's collecting her wickets. So that's basically the girls who are really performing for us at the moment. We have Ernisha Fontaine. She just came back from a camp at West Indies in Antigua. She's a wicket keeper, but she hasn't really produced the kind of runs that we were hoping that she would produce so far. So we're looking for the senior girls to lead the younger ones through. And it's a process. Building is a process. To build a team is a process, and it takes a while for us to get that right. I think more could be done within Dominica to promote the game. At the moment, we really have maybe only 15 or 16 players in the country who can really represent Dominica. Out of that, we have 5 or 6 young girls under 19. So it's a balancing act, and we are hoping that going forward that we'll get more girls playing the game. Another thing that was suggested in that we think that the sports division could do a little bit more to promote the game in the primary school, in the secondary schools, because basically what happens if a girl wants to play cricket, she can't really play cricket in the sports division organization. It's either netball or volleyball or something like that. So I think we really need to get away from that aspect and start to incorporate the cricket within the schools so that we can get more young ladies playing the game.
This is an excellent point that to make, and I'm glad you're making this point, and I hope the officials are listening, because as you said, if you really want to go places, and the fact of the matter is, these are careers. You have women cricket has come a long way. So these are careers that our young girls can even decide to become involved with and to make money from, and to make a good living from. So it's something that I believe, Sibo, and I think you would agree that needs to be done to have it at the school level, because that's at the point where you need to, kind of build these young children into the sport.
And Sam, just to back up what Dr. Fontaine has said, you can make a living now, because what the West Indies board have said they're going to do now, equal pay for women and men.
Here we
so
go.
A woman playing for West Indies now can make a very good living from playing cricket.
Yes.
So something's right.
Yes.
You too, Sam, that we must introduce that in the schools, and a bigger effort must be made to get the young ladies to play more cricket. Sam, yes?
Yes, and having said that, we actually have 2 girls in Dominica who are contracted by CWI.
Cricket West Indies, right?
They have contracts. 2 girls, as Ernisha Fontaine and Abini Saint Jean. They've been contracted to play cricket for West Indies, so they've been paid. I mean, that's a really good step in the right direction. And as we mentioned before, the girls can make a solid living from playing the sport.
Right.
Did most of these girls, I know the women's team took part in the intermediate division. Did they play, most of these girls, did they play in that competition?
Yes, we had. I saw a lot of improvement playing against the men, to be fair. I mean, we're not going to really compete and, beat the men, but I saw signs that if we continue to do that, the women's game can grow in Dominica. That is what I saw. So I thought for the DCA, I thought that was a great initiative that they actually included the women in the intermediate league. And I think that is the way to go forward.
Let me ask you, sir, if the T20 you say starts tomorrow, is it knockout? When you lose, that's it? Or you everybody's round robin, the T20?
No, it's not. It's not round robin. How they've done it is, it's based on the 50 over competition. So whoever came out first in the 50 over competition, in the T20 version, number 1 play number 4, number 2 play number 3. And it's all going to be at the same venue, which is La Sagesse. And then the next day, you have the playoff for 3rd place. And then the last game is for the championship.
Okay. So the championship ends on when? Sunday?
Saturday. We finish on Saturday. So it's Friday and Saturday. They're having double headers at the venue. So it is streamed as well. So if anybody's interested, they can have a look and see the girls in action. I mean, at the end of the day, Windward is going to put a team out to represent the whole of the Windward Islands. So I suggest that people have a look and see the standard of cricket that the girls are playing, I have seen improvements throughout the whole tournament. The teams are really fighting hard, and there's some good prospects within the teams as well.
Have all the matches been played at La Sagesse? Or you all didn't play at the Queen's Park, right?
No. We played at Bossijou. I don't know if you've been to.
Of course. Yeah. That is Dr. Michel's area.
That's correct. That's correct. I think it's a lovely ground. It's a really nice ground.
Big ground.
And then it's Bossijou and La Sagesse. But yesterday they had athletics down at Bossijou, so we had to go to Progress Park, which is in Grenville, as you know.
Yeah. But it used to, in fact, when I was manager, we played first class cricket there. That used to be a lovely ground, nice area. I don't know what has happened that they don't use it anymore.
Which one is that?
Progress Park. Because I remember you said they haven't played there for a while.
Yeah, that's correct. But to me, they have the best wicket in Grenada.
Yeah, it's a nice ground.
Yeah. Pace and bounce in the wicket. Yeah, nice, really nice ground.
Yeah, so I don't know, because I know they're doing some work at the Queen's Park ground. The government, I think they're doing some work there. At the
yes, no games are being played at the stadium. So the stadium is actually closed. So we're playing at the outgrounds, and I think that's good for the game as well. That you take the games out into the country, and you get more young girls and young people to come and watch the games, and that maybe inspire more girls to take up the game.
Have you been getting reasonable crowds, or have people been coming to watch?
Yes, good crowds, really good crowds. I'm really surprised because, as we know, cricket is not really been followed throughout the Caribbean as it used to. But I see the girls' game is a different game. The women's game is a different game. They have a lot of supporters. They have a lot of family members that come and look at the games. Yeah, so it's been quite good.
Okay.
That is excellent.
Well, Sam, we don't want to keep you long. So your Dominica plays tomorrow. Tell listeners again what time Dominica plays and tell us again. And again soon.
Dominica plays St. Lucia tomorrow at 9:30 at La Sagesse, and that's going to be streamed live. So we're looking forward to people to come out or look at the stream and make an opinion as they see online.
Win this site? Where will it be streamed?
It's going to be on the Windwards, on the Windwards Volcanoes Facebook page.
Okay, all right, excellent.
Yeah. So you play.
It would be great to see the women in action and see, for us to look at them, and so thanks a lot for that. We'll certainly be looking out for it.
So you said 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
9:30.
Okay. Against St. Lucia.
9:30. Yeah.
Well,
so once again, Mr. Sebastian, thanks for having me on your program. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
Anytime. We will talk soon.
No problem. Take care.
All right, sir. Okay.
Yeah, take care. Yeah. Well, let's hope the women can win a game tomorrow. They have
but as you said, I mean, it's a very small pool of women that he has to work with, but as this sport, improves and I mean the scope, and if you can get it
from the schools,
that is what we need. That is what we need, and a lot more, a larger pool to choose from, and so on, and then the talent will continue to emerge. But it's a great start. I'm glad to see at least we have a team of women, and that that is certainly some progress for us.
Well, Thompson, we can talk about the West Indies now. Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Yes,
the West Indies.
Well, they won a game, man.
Well, they won a game. The tour of Australia was not, in context. I was looking at the scores for the T20, for example. They were all competitive games.
200 free time, the West Indies,
and the margins. In one game, it was 11 run difference, 34 and 37 when we beat Australia.
But I'm still concerned about the bowling, though.
The bowling is
bowling. And I'm not sure if you can have Russell, Holder, and what's his name? Not Powell from Guyana. Shepherd playing at the same. To me, maybe you need two of them. There's enough batting. I feel the batting at number 9.
Yes.
Probably maybe you need another specialist bowler.
Yeah.
Instead of all three, because all of them doing the same thing. They are not fast, they're medium pace. And so I'm wondering.
So would you bring in another spinner?
I'll probably bring in Moti. We saw Hawkins bowl very well. Chase.
Yes.
So maybe it might be best to try another slow bowler because you have free people. Because Holder, to me, I mean, Russell gets out. Technically, Holder is a better batsman than Russell. Russell, if he gets going, he can really destroy an attack. So I'm not sure if you need all three of them playing at the same time. Because all of them are medium pacers. I mean, Azari is the only person really bowling fast here.
Yes. And hopefully at some point we'll get Shama. But until we have Shama.
Yeah, well, he signed for, what's it, Mark Wood has pulled out of the IPL.
Yes.
So Shama has signed for his team in the IPL. I only hope, and I'll say it again, hope they don't push this guy too much. I mean, we have to be cautious and really tread carefully.
So what were some of the highlights for you of the Australian tour? I mean, Shama, obviously, but besides Shama...
Well, there haven't been many highlights. I mean, what we can say, I mean, we saw Kavem Hodge and Finn had that good partnership with help West Indies to win.
Yeah.
Azari Joseph at some point, he bowled well. But you talk about the highlights, but you talk about the low lights as well. Because the opening batting is a problem. And it continues to be a problem. Today, Shanda Paul made a knock for Guyana. Craig Bradford, in 4 innings since he came back, he's not even aggregating 50 runs for Barbados. He got bowled out. And it's a headache that the opening bat, even, what's the name? From Barbados has failed, from Jamaica, sorry. That is number 3.
Oti? Not Oti.
No, the number 3 batsman. What's his name now? From Jamaica. His name doesn't come to mind right now. He batted 3 in the test matches. Mackenzie. Yeah, Mackenzie. He had. I saw him get out.
But Mackenzie has a lot of potential. I mean, I looked at this guy bat. There's somebody, I don't know. Probably they might think of promoting him because I get the sense that Bradford days as an opener may be limited.
Yeah, he's struggling, man.
I think he's struggling, and if he have probably one more series, and I think that would be it for him. So there's an opening, I think.
What we want to see, the guy who came back from making runs.
Yes.
And we want to see them making runs. Although they have been, so far, in the 2 rounds, 600-700, the Louis boy played very well. He looked very good, I can tell you that.
Look, the Windwards.
The openers are doing well.
Yeah.
The Cafe only made 26 today. Ambrose has been making runs. Jeremiah, the number 3 batsman, the openers are doing well. Tolazana and the captain himself, Malian. Ali Kafanaz will join the team over the weekend. So he'll play. He's currently in Dominica. I spoke to him yesterday as well over the weekend. And what I don't want in Dominica, Thompson, a few months ago, Dominicans had Alec right up there. And now Dominicans are funny people. And we must stand behind him. He had a bad tour of Australia. That will happen in cricket. So we have to stand behind him and give him all the encouragement.
All the encouragement and the support that he deserves.
Probably people don't even know he's here. I know I've spoken to him a few times, and I know he's leaving on the weekend to join them in Jamaica. So we must give him the encouragement. Like I said, cricket you're playing, you will fail at some point.
But I think West Indies, I saw in that team in Australia, although it was a young team and with 7 debutants. But I see the making. I know many times we've talked about them turning the corner. But I think, you're beginning to see that we probably,
Well, we don't want to talk too early. You don't want to speak too early about it. Because
but you get the sense that there may be something to look forward to.
But you could see they were playing as a team. Because nobody expected them to do that. And they showed people who can fight. And fight the mighty Australians.
But that to me was the pleasant thing. And guys, I thought Mackenzie had some good flashes. I thought even Ford, played well. Graves, so some of the players are coming forward. Of course, I won't have him Hodge. We cannot. And although Alec had a bad tour, but I think, as we said, in terms of the talent and so on, he will come good. He will. There's no question about it. So I think the future of the West Indies looks a little better now. Of course, the T20 is coming up in the next few months. I think West Indies can still contend with that group we have. But what do you think of our number 3 for the T20?
Well, they have Pooran batting at number 3.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way they're probably going.
I think they're trying to do a setup for the T20. But does Pooran fit the number 3?
Well, what probably can happen, if you lose an early wicket, I do not think he's the man to go in early. Probably Shea Hope, who is somebody who's batting up.
I think Shea Hope should probably be at number 3.
But if, let's say, you get a good start, 10 overs, maybe Pooran would come in at number 3. So it's something probably they're looking at to see. And I was happy they played Chaser. And
Yes.
she had bowled extremely well.
Yeah.
4 overs, what, 19
Yeah.
runs? I mean, you have to give him credit. And
But
he
to me-
batted well as
yeah,
well.
but to me, hope, Puran, because if you come at number 3, as I said, if a wicket falls early and you come in at number 3, you have to be guarded. You have to kind of almost cramp your natural style. Puran is the kind of guy you put him in the last 5 overs and 6 overs, he can go ballistics and score. I would much prefer Hope at number 3. I think that would be a better setup, and probably Puran even at number 5.
I don't think they had Puran batting free throughout the series.
Yes,
So I don't know if it's something
but
they want to do.
He did not excite.
Yeah, he didn't play well at all. He didn't play well at all. We have a caller. Good night. Hello? Hello? Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Mr.
Yeah,
Minard,
good evening.
how are you, Mr. Minard? Mr. Minard.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm not too sure if I am still accepted on this program.
No. Listen, Mr. Minard, come on. Be a man. Nobody ever said you were not accepted. Come on. Don't even go there. You're big man enough. We're talking, let's talk. If you want to talk about cricket, let's go ahead, man. Come on. Don't even go back there and talk about you're always accepted. Please. We don't want to.
Well, I listen not really all of your discussion, but a lot of it in and out, and I just joined again. So I know I heard you discussing in reference to the West Indies performance in Australia, and also the West Indies current players especially who have played in Australia, in reference to the captain, Bradford. You mentioned Chandra Paul, the number 3, Mackenzie, and they're all struggling, which, yes, we know there are times when even greater players are players at their very best, the Kohli, the Smith, the Viv Richard, the Lara, everybody would have had their off days and off time and off period, and then they would have been on top of the world at times. Well, I can tell you that there is a big solution coming for the West Indies in terms of the opening position, where I am looking for Louis to make that West Indies team less than a year.
All right.
I expect the West Indies selectors to call it right. I understand Desmond Haynes, he was here looking at the match, and I am still very disappointed in Desmond Haynes' performance. But in this position, in terms of the opening position, you would have mentioned in terms of Bradford. Bradford do not have the best of technique. It is not even someone who I will pay even a dime to watch. But he has been effective. He has been our best opener for some time. He has had some success at this level, scoring double 100, scoring 100. When you look at the record of the openers over the last, say, 5-10 years, he has been the most consistent. And being the captain, he has led the way. But of late, you can't have a team that is struggling and you as a captain is struggling, then that would even put more pressure on you. Fortunately, and I don't know what you guys think in terms of the series that we would have played in Australia, where West Indies came out of it winning the last test match. Unfortunately, just 2 test matches. I don't think that any series, to be honest, don't matter the level, should be less than 3 test matches. Because you have, even when you have 2 of the top teams in the world, sometimes you have a match don't even last 3 days. So you can't say, well, because is maybe a team that ranked maybe number 8 versus a team that ranked number 1, number 2, that it only should be 2 games. Because when you look at it, you can't believe a team that ranked around 8, 9 played against the world champion, Australia, and we came up drawing that series with an excellent. But when you look at it, as I said, I was on a program just the other day, and I told them that when you look at the performance for the West Indies team, it took one player mainly. Yes, the others who contributed, But one player mainly, I would want to say that his performance alone was about 80% of the West Indies team. And if that 80% was down to about 30%, West Indies would have lost the game.
Yeah, well, Mr. Millard, I want to ask you a question. Last week, we saw this big story where Cows stopped play in a regional first-class match. I've never heard of that before. Can you tell listeners what really went on there in St. Kitts? The match between it was Guyana and Trinidad, was it?
Yeah.
Last week, where Cows stopped play. Cows.
I do not have, and when I was on the program as one of the panelists, someone mentioned it, and I really was supposed to get some clarity in reference to that particular match.
Also, you didn't know what really happened?
No. I heard about what took place, but I was supposed to get clarity, to be honest, after the program, because the host did mention in reference to that game, and I really was supposed to get some clarity. And I am one person that really don't like to give misleading information. So maybe next time, because it's very important that people get accurate information. And when it comes to matches, it's important that you have quality pitches, quality, just up to the standard where a game should be able to last, unless you have weather to stop a game. You should not have a game based on, I think it was something to do with also, when thinking of it, I've heard about the cover, maybe not the best, and then maybe rain would have, seeped you underneath the cover, and that would have, and we had a lot of rain at that time, last week. Fortunately, after the big deficit of rainfall in 2023, we welcome some showers, which was about probably 3 inches. We would have liked to have at least 10, 15 inches, because we could have taken that amount of water at the same time. I think in terms of maybe how Dominica is laid out, because I understand that you have a lot of hills and rivers and things like that. So maybe having a certain amount of rain may not be the best in terms of your country, but we have been very, very dry. And I believe, it will have to take maybe 50 inches for us to probably get a flood. Okay. And we will welcome any amount of water at this time, because that is very, very important.
Okay, Mr. Millard. Hold on, Mr. Millard. Thompson there, Mr. Millard as well. There's an interesting match going on in New Zealand, eh? New Zealand yes, 270 odd, and they 94 for 2.
Yeah.
And this is a second string team from South Africa.
Yes.
In fact, I'm going to watch some of it tonight.
But they showed though. Because I don't think they ever scored 250 in the 2 games. It showed that they were second-hand team. Unlike the West Indies did better. Our second-hand team did better than the South Africans. But they're competitive in this.
They're very competitive, and if they could get Williamson out, still batting in 35. It's 94 for 2 now. They're still 174 runs behind.
Yeah, but you have to think that with 174 runs, Williamson and
Ravindra is batting. You expect New Zealand to make it. But it would be a shock if they were to bowl out New Zealand. They need 173 more to beat New Zealand.
And of course, we have India against England.
In fact, when you watch India, you saw a guy come last night, a young kid who had been playing for so many years, making runs upon runs.
The guy scored a 400 in
a match in India. And then he comes last night, and you swear he was playing for 10 years. And he just dominated 60 odd runs at a run of ball. And if he didn't get run out, probably don't make it, because he really looked good last night. Safras Khan. Long you haven't seen a young kid that's coming like that and you're playing against high-class bowling.
Safras Khan, and then when you look at the opener, Jaswal. Jaswal was the guy who won the second game.
Yeah, with his double 100.
Without his double 100 in the second game, in England would probably be 2 up in the series, you know. But what I like about India is just the number of
players they have.
That they
have so many
they
players.
Can bleed in players, you know. It's just incredible.
Yes, Mr. Millard, you saying?
Yeah, I'm very sorry to interrupt, but I just want to ask this question, which I think is a very important one, and I would like to get your view on this. In reference to Anderson, how long you think England should continue with his service?
I think that's his last hurrah. I think the tour of India will be his last. I don't see him going much beyond that. I really think so. I really think, but you know, he's still bowling. But at 41, you have to wonder how long.
Well, I suspect he will play against West Indies in the summer. West Indies have free test match in the summer. He's still a contracted player, by the way.
He'll play?
I think he'll play because he doesn't appear that he wants to give up. They have to really drop him.
Yes,
because
yes,
if it's up to him, he'll play until he doesn't look like he want to give up at all.
I thought he would have gone before Broad, even, but the fact that he's still there, but he's still fit. And I was listening to him in an interview some time ago, and he was talking about his regimen, like what he goes through to ensure that he stays in tip-top shape, and it shows. I mean, he's taking wickets. The fact of the matter is he's bowling well. He's taking wickets. You know, so Cebu thinks he has at least after the Indian tour, he still have one more.
I still feel
bear in mind he's into his third test, and they still have 2 more to go. We'll see.
And you know, the only sad thing is that Virat Kohli is not able to play.
Yeah,
his personal problems. He looked like he's not going to play in the series at all. He's not going to play at all. In fact, I see India have already said that Rohit is going to captain the team in T20 World Cup. They said that. The secretary yesterday said that. Kohli, nobody knows now what's going to happen with Virat Kohli. Whatever the personal problem. The only good thing, they have given him his space.
Yes.
In fact, I saw the secretary saying yesterday, he's a man for 15 years who has never pulled out. He's always played. So there's nothing wrong if he's going through some stress now. Allow him the time. They said that.
You know, but the India team, man, I mean, when you think, and all of the guys at different times are coming good. You know, it was Jaswal. Then now it is
Rohit
and then Subman Gill even scored a century.
Last match,
different people, you know, Tajir.
I mean,
this guy is, you know, he's about at number 8.
Jadeja. No, he's got to that 5 to the makes 100.
Makes 100. Incredible.
In fact, you can check the records in the last 2-3 years. This guy has to be the number 1 all-rounder in Test cricket.
Without a doubt. Easily. I think, well, we probably consider good as Stokes might be, but...
Yeah. What you saying, Mr. Menan?
Yeah, he is officially the number 1 all-rounder in the world. He has excelled, especially in terms of his batting, because he always, you know, decent bowler. But he has excelled over the last year to 2 years. So put him up to number 1 as the number 1 all-rounder in Test cricket. And he came today when India was on the back foot, you know, some 30 for 3.
Yeah, they were 33 for 3 at one point. Yeah,
the captain who actually stayed there with his experience at the top, you know, and supported by him, and both of them put on an excellent partnership where Sharma came up with a very, very important and timely 100. So you know, India, which you all would have mentioned, remember you're talking about over 1 billion people. So there are hundreds of cricketers who should be available for selection. We're in the Caribbean. You're talking about perhaps maybe you know, maybe a few hundreds. Maybe in India you talk about a few thousands who should be available, and also in Australia. So the Australian team, outside of the, you know, the main players, can still come and put good people on the pitch to represent the country.
Okay, Mr. Bernard,
let me touch in reference to Anderson, because there's something called time and timing. And there are many great players, because Lara at 37 was still the best in the world. Viv Richards was still outstanding when he finished. Sobers, I mean, you name it. Somebody, even David Warner still doing very well for Australia.
Yes, but these are all batsmen. These are all batsmen. Right? It's different from the bowlers. The strain on the body is not the same for the bowlers.
You know, Mr. Menard, we quickly want to talk about, because we have a lot of listeners in North America, the Super Bowl, Thompson. Do you watch it, Mr. Menard? Did you watch it?
No, I'm not a lover of that.
I know, but we have a lot of listeners from North America. We saw this guy, the Kansas City Chiefs, Thompson.
Yes, Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, who has a contract worth $498 million. By the way, and he helped to win that match. And most people think he probably will be one of the greatest players.
Yes.
But you know something that struck me, and I've seen that in cricket. You know there was overtime.
Yes.
There are 3 players who said they didn't know the rules. They put in new rules 2 years ago.
Okay.
And players were on TV saying they were not aware of the rules. This is shocking that there are professional sportsmen who are saying to the world they were not aware of the rules. I have never seen something like that. In fact, when I saw that, I said, this guy should be sacked. How could you be playing? And the overtime period, the match, it went into overtime.
Yes.
The new rules that were put in 2 years ago, and they were not aware of the rules. Yeah, they came out publicly on TV. I said, man. And you know, I've seen that in cricket, you know, I would not call them. There was a guy playing for the Windwards, and he didn't even know what was wrong the wicket or over the wicket, you know. Man, yeah, I don't call him by his name, but the person who had played cricket for a while and didn't know what is over. How do you say somebody's bowling over the wicket or around the wicket? I say amazing. And in fact, I remember the Grayson Shillingford telling me a joke, you know, of a player who played for Dominica in 1978. He was the captain, Grayson, and he told the guy to go out mid-wicket. And the guy saying to him about, "Sir Grayson Kafela, nom laka di ball ya mid-wicket." And the guy didn't know what position in mid-wicket. So it's amazing that guys playing professional sport and did not know the rules were changed, and I just find that shocking. And as we finish, Thompson?
Well, of course, the African Cup of Nations. I mean,
I saw
Ivory Coast, man. That's a fairy tale.
Who barely made it after the initial round. They fired their coach.
The coach, yes.
Who, after they lost 4-0. And they came back, Cote d'Ivoire, and won the African Cup of Nations.
Beating Nigeria 2-1.
What a story, eh? What a story.
That's a Cinderella story in football. But it is one of the better... It was one of the better champions, African Cup of Champions.
And it's nice to see the lesser nations too doing well.
Yes.
Before you would hear Egypt
like
or Nigeria.
Cape Verde for 1.6 million people.
Exactly.
Played really, really well, you know, and you had some real standouts. And you know, the big guns like
Nigeria,
Cameroon, Egypt,
Ghana.
Egypt was knocked out, you know. Egypt that has won the most times. I won the cup the most times. They were knocked out. Morocco. That they thought that came in as a favorite.
Morocco were the favorites to win that, and they were knocked out. So it was a nice, really competition. It's nice to see that Ivory Coast. I mean, you remember Didier Drogba, Ivory Coast. He was one of the great players of football. So it was a nice competition. And Mr. Menard, we come to the end now. It's the end of the night, end of the program. So it was nice. You joined us, and it was nice. So, Thompson, your last words?
Yeah, well, the Premier League, we haven't talked about that.
you know, and Manchester City and Liverpool at the top.
Liverpool, well, the championship is certainly between.
Mr. Mena, what were you saying?
Yeah, I'm now looking at the New Zealand and
it's 2 wickets down.
As you rightfully mentioned, and I did mention on the program a few days ago that this very inexperienced South Africa team can end up like the West Indies inexperienced team in Australia beating New Zealand, you know, in this game. So they have a very good chance, and it can go either way. But when you look at it here, this inexperienced South Africa team has done very, very well so far, and I don't think that they should put their head down because they have done their country proud so far.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Menard. Thompson, you were saying about the football, the Brazilians.
Yes, just quickly, since we are out of time. I was saying that the toss-up really now is between
Liverpool and City, and Arsenal as well.
And Arsenal, you know, so
last Sunday 6-0 they beat West Ham.
Yeah.
And you know, Manchester United have been coming up. They've been winning matches now.
Yeah.
So
but I think it's between the three now. I think it's one of these three that's
City,
going to take
Liverpool, and Arsenal.
And Arsenal.
But you know, Arsenal over the years have really stumbled many times.
And even in this league, they have been stumbling because they really should have been on the top of the table, you know.
Right.
But, it should be interesting.
So we don't want to tell listeners, don't forget this thing for tomorrow, this radio fund for King Dice. Make your contribution. In fact, somebody just sent me a receipt that when they paid $200 US already. So I just thought the receipt.
And the person who pledged $500 has actually sent it in.
Well, somebody there.
So here we go.
They
People
paid.
are
So that's
serious about
700
it.
US already paid.
Already
That's
paid,
close to
already
2,000.
collected.
So,
Yeah.
Mr. Minard, thank you. Thank you very much. So, on behalf of Thompson Fountain,
Until next week.
thank you. We had King Dice earlier and Pat Aaron. So, we just want to say to the listeners, good night. We will join you again next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Greetings, Mr. Abdullah. Salam alaikum.